We finished sewing our pockets. This is what it looks like. And now we're going to do a gathering stitch or a basting stitch across the top of the apron. So you're going to line up. Right now you already have it to the right, so you can leave it on that setting. Only this time when you do a basting stitch, you're not going to do a back stitch. And a basting stitch is the longest stitch length that you have as a setting on your machine. So for this, you're going to hold both of the strands of thread as you start and just guide it through. And once you get it through, you don't have to hold the strings anymore. And you're just going to follow along the edge. And try to keep it as straight as possible, because with basting stitches, we're going to do another row next to it. And if they're all squiggly and they aren't parallel, it makes it more difficult when you're trying to gather it. And then when you're finished, no back stitch, and you want to leave plenty of extra, snip it. Then for the next part, we're going to do it about 1/4 inch away from the previous stitch. So I'm going to switch it to the center placement for my needle. And I'm going to line it up with the stitch that I just made. And we're going to do the exact same thing. And stitch it parallel. And as you're doing this, once you get it started on the second row, you can kind of put your fingers behind, make sure it doesn't get in the way, but you just kind of keep your finger there to help gather it until you get a bunch of fabric, and then you can let it go, and it starts kind of crinkling it, so it makes it easier when you start actually gathering it because the ridges are already established. And you'll be able to see that a lot more clearly on more of a basic fabric. This fabric already has ridges, so you're not seeing it as visibly. And then again, you would pull it and snip it. Have your gathering stitch. Then from that point, you will take 2 ends from the top side and just start scrunching it. And gathering it until you get it the same length as your waistband, and make it about 1/2 inch smaller than your waistband. And we'll go from there.